Hey guys, Mike here at MS Tutorials and welcome back to a new video. Alright, well today we are going to talk about lighting, and I specifically received a question to explain how to set up a lamp in a room to kind of create, realistic light. So what I did is I created a room, I put some wallpaper on the wall, some texture on the table and some texture on the lamp itself. And what we're going to do next is we are going to add some light to the scene. Now I set up a bookmark. So if I go to my bookmark, this will be our view. Actually, it looks like I moved it a bit. So let's fix that. Yeah, I guess that's a good view. So we're going to go to view bookmark, edit bookmarks. We'll take that one and we'll delete it and we'll call this one new, apply and close. All right, so if we just render this out, and that's a test render, if we just render this out as is, this is going to be our scene. Okay. Now, table is a little bit reflective, maybe a little bit too much, so I'll turn that down a bit, and then we're ready to go, right? So I'm just gonna right-click on object mode, select that, go to my material, and we're gonna go down to reflectivity, set that to 0.1. Okay, so first what we're gonna do is we're gonna go up to create lights and point light. We're gonna hit W, we're gonna move that in and move that up. And then for my top view, I'm going to hold down V to snap it to the center of my lamp, F to zoom in, hold down V again and make sure it's centered. And then from a height point of view, I'm going to hit F to zoom in. You can see it's way down here. So let's bring that up to about there. Okay, so we're going to go back to our bookmark and we're just going to render this out as is. Okay, so we'll save this for comparison and render that out. Okay, not good by a long shot, but that's the whole purpose of this video, right? Okay, so we're going to save that one out as well. We're going to go back in and we're going to go to our point light. And first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to change the color. So we're going to select the white color and get something that's a little bit more yellow, maybe even a bit more towards white. That'd be okay. And the next thing that we're going to do in our light is we're going to go down to shadows, and we're not going to use depth map shadows, we're going to use ray trace shadows, and we're going to make sure that that's set up. So let's see, we're going to set shadow rays to 8 and the limit to 6. And the light radius, that's an interesting one. I'm going to tweak that after I do a render so you can see the difference. So we're just going to hit render. Okay. Pretty much the same except for the color that we changed. But you can see that you have very harsh shadow lines. Okay. So let's increase the light radius to, let's say, 0.5. Save this for comparison and render that out again. And already you can see that the shadow lines are much more softer on the wall, which is good. Okay. All right, we'll give that another sec. And you see a little bit of light coming out of the top as well. The light shade itself is quite dark, and you can see underneath the table, this is a very dark area as well. All right. So what we're going to do next is we're going to approach the front a little bit. We're going to add a little bit of light to the scene. I'll save that for comparison. We're going to go to create lights and area light. And I'm going to pull that up, move that kind of in front of my light here. And then I'm going to hit T on my keyboard so I can kind of aim it. And I want it to be aimed from the front, obviously. And we're going to pull this way up and back a little. And let's kind of aim at the front of our table here. Okay. Now, again, I don't want white, so I'm going to use pretty much that same bright color. Maybe even that one. That's too yellow. We'll do that one. All right. And I want the intensity to be quite low. So I'll do 0.15 to start with. And I don't want any shadows coming from this light. So I'm going to make sure that in my area light under the shadows tab, depth map shadows is turned off and ray trace shadows is turned off as well. So we're going to go back to our bookmark. There we go. We're going to do a render. And I'm rendering in Mental Ray, by the way, because we are using ray trace shadows. And already you will see a difference. Maybe not right away, but when I show you by comparison, you will see it. We'll give that another second. Okay, so this one is with our area light, and if I jump back, you can see that this whole area is quite dark, especially underneath. You can hardly see the table there, and you can see that brings a little bit of difference. Okay, not quite there yet. What we're going to do next is we are going to add another point light. I'll save this for comparison. And we want to have a little bit more light going on inside our lamp. So I'm going to go to create lights and point light. And we're going to hit W, and it's over here. Bring that in. From our top view, we're going to hold down V once again to snap it. From a height point of view, we're going to bring that in. All right, and we'll call this no shadow light. And that kind of tells you what I'm going to do with that. Okay, so first of all, what I'm going to do is I am going to, let's see, hang on, up there. I'm going to bring down the intensity to about 0.35. Okay, again, I don't want white light, so we're going to use this guy, which is just slightly off. I don't want any shadows, so I'm going to go down and turn off ray trace shadows. And we're going to scroll back up. And let's see, yeah, that should be about it. Okay, back to our bookmark. We're going to do a new render. And that one was saved. I got the memory of an old guy. But then again, I am an old guy, so. All right. Okay, so now you can see we have a little bit too much light going on in our scene because of our 2-point lights. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to level them out, so to speak. All right. So we'll save that one. We're going to go into this point light and we'll do 0.2, which is my number 2 light. And then I'm going to go to Windows Outliner. I'm going to go to point light number 1 and we'll do 0.7 on that one. And let's give that another go. And we want to have that kind of that feeling that, it's a limited light in a room. We don't want things to be too bright. Okay. Okay. That's a bit better. Maybe a little bit bright still. So save that for comparison. Go to Window Outliner, my point light 2. Let's do, oh, there we go. There's our problem. Okay, so the decay needs to be at linear. I'm not sure I did that in the other one. That will allow me to increase this intensity to probably 2. And then on my light number 1, quite sure I did that. No, I did not. Okay, I want a linear decay, and we'll set that to 3. Now, what the decay does is as light travels over distance, it becomes less strong. And with that decay, it's going to keep on going, and we don't want that. Now, we're going to go back to our bookmark. Hopefully, it's not too blown out now. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Just going to abort this one, and we'll tweak it just a bit more. So we'll set that one to 2, and then, sorry guys, I'm in the wrong light. Sorry. I'm on my area light, but that's okay. We needed to do that anyway. So we'll keep our area light at 1, linear, that's all right. Then we're going to go to our point lights, point light 1 first, and we're going to set this to linear. We're going to set that to 2.5, and then we're going to go to window outliner point light 2, and that one is already set to linear. We'll set that to 1. Okay, my apologies for the confusion. Yeah, that's going to be nice. All right, much better. Now, probably one of the most important steps is to have the light shade allow light through it. Okay, so that's pretty much going to be our final step. So we'll just save this for comparison. And then we're going to go into our light shade material, which is this guy. And we're going to go down to translucence. Now, that is the level of light allowed to pass through the material. Okay, so let's try 0.5. And maybe that's a bit high, but we'll see. And let's do a new render. Yeah, very nice. You can see that it's quite translucent, so that's good. And depending on the effect that you're going for, you can obviously tweak this. It's a little bit bright for my tastes, but I think it kind of explains quite well what you need to aim for. I'll do one little adjustment before we call it quits, and that will be on my number 2 point light. Where'd you go? Right there. Okay, I'm going to bring down the intensity to 0.4. All right, now this should be it. So let's bump up the quality for this render. Bum. We're going to set the image size to HD 1080. In my quality tab, I'm going to do about 1.5. Lighting quality is okay. I'm going to go to my legacy options. I'm going to use global illumination. We don't need caustics. I'm not going to use funnel gathering. Okay, that's all good. All right. So I'm just going to pause the video because this will take a bit longer, and I'll see you guys in a sec. Right, guys. Well, there it is. Here's our final render. Obviously, you can tweak this, as much as you like. But I think it explains the basic process. So if you have any questions, as always, just let me know and I'll help you if I can. And that said, thank you guys for watching. I'd love to see you guys next time. Bye.